scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Gray Lonely's got the soul to show you. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire.
Y'all, it's the weekend. What is going on here? Hello, 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 and hello to you, and you. Welcome in to another edition of Brainley's Virtual Tour Live on a Saturday. Y'all, we still got Random Love coming up here a little bit later on tonight, hopefully, or Sunday. But y'all, I'm literally in my place. And I just happen to be on Twitter. And Document Things dropped something. And I want to talk about it with y'all because it's literally breaking news. So let's get to it. Higher is waiting. Low is available. But either way, we got to go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do. Hear that virtual tour music? Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Saturday to you. Hopefully you are staying warm wherever you are in the world. And hopefully, if it's too hot, hopefully you are staying cool, okay? Let me show you how big this breaking news is. This really just broke about an hour ago on Twitter. As y'all know, we always try our very best to be ahead of everything over here, okay? So this is the first thing that I saw right here from Document Things on Twitter. In the matter of Megan Thee Stallion versus Mliagro Elizabeth Cooper, Mliagro Elizabeth Cooper has filed a notice of appeal to the 11th Circuit, appealing the December 2nd, 2025 final judgment. Scope of appeals liability on count 2, IIED appeals liability on count 3, and right here, I'll show y'all this, just a little more of it. Right here, appeals liability on count 3, promotion of an altered sexual depiction, does not appeal the jury's factual findings, only the final judgment. So this right here, this tweet right here that you guys are seeing just came out about an hour ago. So this is the document here. Right here, Megan P. individual versus Megan P. individual plaintiff versus Mliagro Elizabeth Cooper, individual defendant. Notice of appeal. Notice is hereby given that defendant Mliagro Cooper hereby appeals the United States Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit from the December 2nd, 2025 final judgment, ECF number 227, find defendant Mliagro Cooper liable on counts 2 and 3 of plaintiff Megan P's second amended complaint, ECF number 31, filed on February 10th, 2025. And then Jeremy McLemid, it looks like he is still on the case here. Now, wanted to show y'all this as well because this also came out about an hour ago here. Let me see. Right here. Court update. Megan Thee Stallion has filed a motion for award of taxable costs against Mliagro Elizabeth Cooper following her jury verdict win in the Southern District of Florida. Keep this in mind. This does not include attorney's fees. Amount requested $68,850.79 right here in taxable costs, including service of process and filing fees, deposition transcripts and video designations, including unavailable witnesses, hearing transcripts tied to spoliation sanctions, trial exhibit printing, witness fees, psychologist, forensic expert, key witnesses, full document below. We have that. Okay, we do have that. Child, this just, like I said, this just came out about an hour ago. And there was one more thing I wanted to show you. Give me one moment, because, child, like I said, we just got started with the year. We literally just got started with the year. I just read, like, literally yesterday, the Tyler Perry lawsuit with Mario Rodriguez and the Brian. Let me see. Let me go back and make sure that I'm on, which I always am. No. Hang on. I'm gonna turn it down. Hang on. I'm sorry, gorgeous. Hang on. Wait. Hang on. I'm sorry. Hang on. There we go. Is that better? Is that very beautiful? I am so sorry. Hey. Welcome in, Royal Adontis. I am so sorry if you're still here. I'm sorry. My bad. Did not mean for the music to be that loud. And by the way, I'm live, y'all. So it wasn't like I wasn't trying to see Royal Adontis comment. We talked about this before in the chat. So I want to show y'all this here. My bad. Okay. See, this is what we call communication skills. By the way, shout out to the 11 people, 14 people that were here, 6 people here now. And I know that was not personal, because guess what? I believe that this person here actually likes my content. So content creators, we got to do better. Recognizing that not everything is trying to shade you. Sometimes people are trying to help you. Okay. Good Lord Jesus. Okay. So just wanted to just say that as a general tip. By the way, Document Tings just said 16 minutes ago, I just finished the video. I included all the exhibits as well. So let me show y'all this here and what that really could be right here. Hang on, wait. So here's this here. You know where I got the documents. We're about to read them. I'm just setting up everything for y'all. So right here from Tony Updates for You, that's 68 outside of the 59. Yes, if granted, it would total $127,850.79. So with that being said, let's get to it right here. Here is the documents right here. Megan P., an individual plaintiff versus Mliagro Elizabeth Cooper, individual defendant. Plaintiff's motion for award of taxable costs. Plaintiff Megan Pete, Miss Pete, or plaintiff by and through her counsel and pursuant to federal R Civil P 54D SDF Florida LR 7.3C and 28 USC 1920 1821 hereby moves for a judgment taxing costs against defendant Mliagro Cooper. Defendant Miss Pete, as the prevailing party in this motion, is entitled to an award of taxable costs as a matter of law. In support of this motion, Miss Pete's bill of costs and accompanying exhibits are attached. Okay, it's only 12 pages, y'all. So we're gonna read everything, because whenever you are doing information like this, you definitely want to be about the business of being factual. Okay, so yes, indeed. Okay, here we go, y'all. Background: a jury trial was held in the above captioned action in Miami, Florida between November 17, 2025 and December 1st, 2025. On December 1st, the jury rendered a verdict in Ms. Pete's favor on all 3 of her claims. Number 1, defamation per se. Number 2, intentional infliction of emotional distress, IIED. And number 3, promotion of and alter sexual depiction in violation of Section 836.13 Florida statutes. CECF number 226 jury verdict. On December 2nd, the court entered final judgment in favor of Ms. Pete and against defendant. CECF number 227 final judgment as permitted under federal R Civil P 54D SD Florida LR 7.3C and 28 USC 1920 and 1821. Ms. Pete requests that the court tax costs against defendant in the total amount of $68,850.79, comprising of fees of the clerk, service of process fees, costs of transcripts and deposition videos, costs of printing trial materials, and witness fees. All right, so that's the first page there. That's basically just setting up that $59,000 that was originally 75,000 that got dropped down to 59 because the defamation was out. This might get back to close to that amount. Now, if you all remember, we read that motion for the defamation claim to be reinstated. Okay. But I do not think right here. Let's see here. Okay, so counts 2 and 3 is for defamation. Okay. All right. All good. We're live, y'all. So give me some love, grace, and space here. Standard of law, unless a federal statute, these rules, or a court order provides otherwise costs other than attorney's fees should be allowed to the prevailing party. FR Civil P 54D1. The 11th Circuit has held that Rule 54 creates a strong presumption of awarding costs to the prevailing party. See Menor Health Corp versus Lomo. This language of Rule 54 creates a presumption in favor of awarding costs to the prevailing party, which the losing party must overcome. Also see Valley Ocean Sky Limo. Noting a district court's discretion to deny any cost is quite limited. Quinto versus Universal Parking of Florida LLC. June 10th, 2016 report and recommendation adopted, knowing that the court must award costs unless it states good reasons for denying them, internal quotation marks omitted. The prevailing party is the litigant that won on any significant issue in the litigation which achieves some of the benefit the parties sought in bringing suit. James versus Wash Depot Holdings Incorporated, quoting Texas Street Shares. Assen. Really? I'm sorry. I never thought I was an Assen as a defendant or a plaintiff. Please forgive me. Assen versus Garland Independent School District. I bet you that was the case. 28 USC 1920 permits the following categories of taxable costs that the prevailing party may recover as a matter of recourse. Okay, here we go. 1, fees of the clerk and marshal. 2, fees for printed or electronically recorded transcripts necessarily obtained for use in the case. 3, fees for disbursements for printing and witnesses. 4, fees for exemplification and the cost of making copies of any materials where the copies are necessarily obtained for use in the case. 5, docket fees under section 1923 of this title. And number 6, compensation of court-appointed experts, compensation of interpreters, and salaries, fees, expenses, and costs of special interpretation services under section 1828 of this title. 28 USC 1821 specifically governs witness fees. Witnesses may receive a fee of $40 for each day of attendance in court and the time necessarily occupied in going to and returning from the place of attendance. So because the trial lasted for 7 days, so you do 40 times 7. That's like $208, y'all. Which, hell, I didn't know you could be paid like that, And I mean, at least it's $280 more than you had before, but that's neither here nor there. But let's roll on. Right here, 28 USC 1821B. Moreover, the section provides for the reimbursement of transportation costs as well as subsistence allowance for lodging, meals, and incidental expenses capped by the maximum per diem rate for a particular location described as prescribed by the General Services Administration, GSA, 28 USC 1821 CD. All right, so that's just setting basically everything up of what Megan is going after. Right here, that's the background. Standard of law, just stating the reasoning that this can happen, okay? Number 3 here is the argument. Here we go. Argument A. Miss P is entitled to her taxable costs as a prevailing party. Miss P, as a prevailing party, is entitled to her taxable costs. C. Ayala versus Chef of Broward County, Florida, September 16, 2014, granting the prevailing party's motion for costs. Miss P need not have won on all issues to be the prevailing party. C. Head Medford. Knowing that a party need not prevail on all issues to justify a full award of costs, and that a party who has obtained some relief usually will be regarded as the prevailing party. Here, however, the jury returned a verdict in Ms. P's favor on all three of her claims, awarding her compensatory and punitive damages. Let me read that two more times. Here, however, the jury returned a verdict in Ms. Pete's favor on all three of her claims, awarding her compensatory and punitive damages. Here, however, the jury returned a verdict in Ms. Pete's favor on all three of her claims, awarding her compensatory and punitive damages. Now, if you all remember, when we covered the defamation claim being reinstated and how Mliagro kept saying that she's not a fucking journalist, this, that, and third, Megan's team used her own words against her to basically say that what actually happened with the media thing is bullshit. And because in the discovery process and during the pre-trial, it was determined by the judge that she is not a media defendant, that should make it null and void. And not to mention, we talked about periodicals, which a periodical is not audio or video. Yeah. And by the way, sorry to the 11 people that left. I understand if it was the music. My bad on that. I'm still going to give y'all a good show anyhow, because that's what we do over here. Let's keep going here. Right here, CECF number 226. While the jury's finding as to defendants' alleged media defendant status resulted in the court entering final judgment only as to counts 2 IIED and count 3 promotion of an altered sexual depiction, the jury indisputably found defendant liable on count 1 defamation per se and falsely accusing Miss Pete of the crime of perjury. Miss Pete's requested costs, fees of the clerk, service fees, cost of deposition transcripts, and videos for witnesses unavailable at trial, hearing transcript costs, printing costs for trial, and witness fees were necessarily and reasonably incurred to present her case. And also, too, recognize this. The jury, when they had that form of is she media or not media, Mliagro really did a victory lap with that, right? But that was an advisement from the jury. The final decision lies with the judge. Let me say it two more times. The jury was only supposed to give their recommendation. The judge was supposed to make the final decision. The jury gave their recommendation. The judge was supposed to make the final decision. And in that defamation claim, they said that usually never happens, that a jury decides something of that magnitude. Okay. B, Miss P is entitled to recover service of process fees, high vice fees, and docket fees under 28 USC 1921. Miss P may recover fees of the clerk and Marshall C. Ocean Sky limo. First, Miss P requests a total of $1,064 for service of the summons and complaint on defendant and subpoenas on key third parties. The supporting invoices are attached as Exhibit A. The 11th Circuit has held that service process fees may be paid to private process servers so long as the amount does not exceed the amount charged by the U.S. Marshal for service of process. Barra versus Weiss and Woolrich. We hold that private process server fees may be taxed pursuant to 1921 and 1921 and then 1921. So I'm guessing this is 1920, Section 1, and then 1921 is a whole separate thing. For each item served, Ms. Pete only seeks the minimum statutory fee that the U.S. Marshals may collect, $65 per hour for personal service and $8 by mail. CRHRCC Ltd versus Hard Rock Cafe International USA. Report and recommendation adopted in 2018. For service of summons and complaint on defendant, Ms. Pete requests $130 or the amount the U.S. Marshals charge for 2 hours. As the corresponding invoice shows, it took 2 attempts to successfully serve defendant. Now, hang on, I'm gonna have to do. I'm sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. Where is it? 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 So, you mean to tell me this was one of the 2 times right here? I'm just, listen, some people have a life, okay? Some people do have a life. I do as well, but we're here talking. So I think this was one of the 2 times right here. I think this is, I'm sorry. Hang on, wait a minute. Okay, there we go. I think this was one of the 2 times right here. Tossaway K was so shady for this shit. She really was. I'm just giving context, conjecture, and connection, okay? Listen, that's all I'm doing, okay? Oh, all right. As the corresponding invoice shows, it took 2 attempts to successfully serve defendant. Epic Systems Corp versus Decapolis Systems LLC Limited Liability Company, awarding service of process fees for 11 attempts, with each attempt granted the $65 rate that the U.S. Marshals charge per hour. Regarding document subpoenas, Ms. Pete seeks to recover fees for serving AT&T, Zelle Early Warning Services LLC, California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation CDDR, and Telmate LLC, as their productions were used in trial exhibits. CEG trial exhibits J68, J111, and J114. Ms. Pete requests $203 for 1 mail and 3 personal service on AT&T, $65 for 1 personal service on Zelle, $73 for 1 mail and 1 personal service on CDCR, and $65 for one-time service on Telmate. In addition, Ms. Pete requests that the court tax the cost of serving deposition subpoenas on the following witnesses whose testimony was centered at trial: Sunstar Pearson deposition designation, Daystar Pearson deposition designation, Caesar McDowell deposition designation, Livingston Allen. That's PDF academics, by the way, everybody, in case you did not know about that. And Emil Holland Briggs live testimony, C.E.G. Powell versus Carey International, allowing prevailing party to recover costs associated with serving deposition subpoenas, awarding minimum service fees charged by the U.S. Marshals. These witnesses were critical to establishing the defendant's state of mind, motive, and coordination with figures like Daystar and Sunstar Pearson to defame Ms. Pete and smear her reputation. Ms. Pete seeks $195 for 3 personal service attempts on Sunstar Pearson, $138 for 1 mail and 2 personal service on Daystar Pearson for his 3 deposition volumes, $65 for 1 personal service. On Caesar McDowell, $65 for 1 personal service on Livingston Allen, PDF academics, and $65 for 1 personal service on Mel Holland Briggs. Second, Ms. Pete seeks the taxation of $750 in pro hoc vice fees. The court has exercised discretion in awarding such fees as costs of the clerk. See EGTY Article Limited Liability Company versus Productive Productions Limited Liability Company. right here, granting fees for pro hoc vice motions as evidence on the docket because they are taxable costs. Ms. Pete requests $250 per application for each of the 3 examining attorneys at trial. Marie Haperin, ECF, NOS 43 for 44. Joanna Manillo, ECF, NOS 95 through 96. And Stephanie Kalman, ECF, NOS 176, 181. The supporting invoices are attached as Exhibit B. Finally, pursuant to 28 USC 1925, docket fees are taxable costs. James 242 FRD at 652. As such, Ms. Pete requests the court tax $405 in filing fee for opening the civil action. Ooh, my lord. CEGID, the filing fee paid by plaintiff when the lawsuit was filed, is therefore recoverable. Epic System Corporation 2024 WL 5236918 at 2, granting filing fee because it is a quintessential docket fee that's recoverable. The invoice is attached as Exhibit C. Chat, this a bitch. Basically, what I'm getting, and we're not even done with the document, y'all. We're just getting started. Basically, what I'm getting from this is that, listen, you fucked up. And because you fucked up, right? And because you kept doing this, that, and the third after that, and because your team didn't have everything together, and because you don't have it to pay, I'm going to make you pay for the process of me doing all this shit to you when you should have kept your fucking mouth shut. I'm going to make you pay for opening this process to do this to you when you could have kept your fucking mouth shut. I'm going to open everything that's taxable to you to start this process when all you have to do is keep your fucking mouth shut. That's what I'm getting from this. Ooh, Lordy. Okay. Costs Ms. P incurred for transcripts and deposition videos were necessary and appropriate. Ms. P seeks recovery on costs of select deposition transcripts and videos and hearing transcripts that were necessarily obtained for use in this case under 28 USC 1922. Ms. P can recover fees for printed or electronically recorded transcripts necessarily obtained for use in the case. She meets that burden of showing necessity and reasonableness. For depositions, a prevailing party may recover the cost of transcribing videotape a deposition under 1920 if the notice of deposition indicated that the deposition would be recorded by a stenographic and non-stenographic means. The opposing party did not object to the method of recordation prior to the deposition, and the prevailing party explains why it was necessary to obtain both a transcript and video recording of the deposition. Brady versus Carnival Corporation. I'm guessing that's, Carnival Cruise Lines. Report and recommendation adopted. Internal quotation marks omitted. Also see Morrison versus Rich and Hope Chemicals Incorporated. A deposition need only appear to have been reasonably necessary at the time it was taken, regardless of whether it was ultimately used at trial. So even if it wasn't used, right? Even if it was just in discovery, if they felt that it was necessary, then they're going to tax and make it do what it do to Mliagro Gramz. Because it took this, that, and the third to get to that verdict. Wow. Ooh, Ms. Pete limits her requested deposition transcripts and videos actually used at trial as substantive evidence for impeachment or as designations for unavailable witnesses. Expedited delivery fees and other non-essential costs are excluded. The total is $41,654.30, supported by invoices appended as Exhibit D. Deposition transcripts and videos for the following witnesses should be taxed: Ms. Pete, herself, live testimony number 2; defendant, live testimony number 3; Amal Holland Briggs, live testimony; Sunstar Peterson, deposition designation; Daystar Peterson, deposition destination, Antonio Toll-Free, deposition destination, Caesar McDowell, deposition destination, and Livingston Allen, PDF academics, deposition destination. Except for the parties, Mr. Holland Briggs and all other witnesses were unavailable at trial, necessitating the designation of their depositions and use of the corresponding videos and transcripts. Defendant also named Sunstar Peterson, Daystar Peterson, and Livingston Allen, PDF academics, on her trial witness list, CEF BCF number 133. 4. Defendant's witness list, James 242 FRD at 650, knowing that the deposition of a witness appearing on the losing party's witness list is generally a reasonable cost to be taxed. Furthermore, Ms. Pete seeks the reimbursement of transcript costs totaling $2,148.96 for the following hearings. Number 1, July 14th, 2025, hearing on defendant's discovery deficiencies and spoliation. Number 2, August 7th, 2025, evidentiary hearing regarding defendant's spoliation. Number 3, October 30th, 2025, first pretrial conference. And 4, November 10th, 2025, second pretrial conference. The total amount is reduced as calculated with the lowest rate of $4.84 per page. Invoices are attached as Exhibit E. Now, for those of you who are probably wondering, why are you calling Livingston Allen PDF academics? Because he talked greasy to a 15-year-old at a Discord call. Okay? He's the same person that said, well, you're 16, 17 and a half, you soon gonna get this D. And he had, or may still have, a SA lawsuit where 2 of his friends ran a train on a woman. And if you have not heard the audio, if you have not watched the video and heard the audio from that video, that was in his place. And there was Poetic Flacco who was glazing PDF academics. So apparently Poetic Flacco is cool with women being raped. Apparently he's cool with a 15-year-old getting talked greasy to by a grown-ass man. And apparently Poetic Flacco doesn't believe that when you're 16, 17 and a half, that there should be respect of minors. Okay? So that's why I'm saying PDF academics. Moving on. And like I said, everything's alleged in my opinions for entertainment purposes only, okay? I don't stand for somebody glazing for somebody when you know good to damn well if Poetic Flacco or myself or any other black man did what PDF academics did, it would be over, as it should be. All right, let's roll on. Following the July 14th, 2025 and August 7th, 2025 evidentiary hearings, the court determined that defendant had destroyed and concealed key evidence and granted spoliation sanctions, CECF number 93, order following discovery hearing, and 152 order granting spoliation sanctions. Specifically, the court held that Ms. B was entitled to jury instructions that defendant intended to deprive plaintiff of the evidence in the deleted messages and chats, that at least some of the deleted messages related to claims in this case and were about plaintiff, and that these deleted messages were unfavorable to defendant. So for those of you who may not remember, Mliagro Gramz tried and did delete the WhatsApp and all those WhatsApp messages between her and Daystar Peterson, right? Tory Lanez. So she deleted all those messages and they found them anyway, right? And, you know, forensics are forensics and they cost a quint, in the words of Tamar Epstein Braxton. So there is that CECF number 152 at 39, ECF 224, court instructions to jury at 3-4. Ms. Pete referred to these 2 hearing transcripts to prepare jury instructions, examine and impeach defendant at trial, and confer with defense counsel post-trial regarding an appropriate award of attorney's fees for having to move on defendant's spoliation. As for the October 30th, 2025 and the November 10th, 2025 pretrial conferences, these transcripts were necessary for finalizing trial exhibits, refining the verdict form and jury instructions, and presenting Ms. Pete's case in adherence to the court's rulings. Furthermore, Ms. Pete relied on these transcripts to argue against defendant's classification as a media defendant during trial and in her post-trial motion to reinstate jury verdict on defamation claim. Their necessity justifies Ms. Pete's recovery. Ooh, my Lord. Pediatric Neuropathy Associates of South Florida versus Variety Children's Hospital. That was out on July 9th, 2018. Report and recommendation adopted on July 24th, 2018, finding that the base cost of the transcript of the discovery hearing is recoverable because the transcript was used for motion practice. Gustave SBE Entertainment Holdings LLC. That was out September 10th of 2021. Report and recommendation adopted September 27th, 2021, exercising discretion on whether to tax hearing transcripts and granted requests. D. Costs Ms. Pete occurred for printing were necessary and appropriate. Ms. Pete seeks $19,601.02 for necessarily and reasonably incurred photocopying costs limited to select days leading up to trial. These costs are permissibly taxed under 28 U.S.C. 1924 CEG Ocean Sky Limo. Taxing printing costs at 25 cents per page. TYR Tactical. Granting full award of approximately $10,000 in photocopying costs. Supporting invoices are attached as Exhibit F. See Barrera 900 F sub 2D at 1334, holding that specific explanations for the need and use of any particular copy are not required. Ms. Pete has omitted any costs incurred for counsel's convenience, such as for custom tabs and delivery, as well as the cost of printing trial boards or physical exhibits such as models and charts. Powell versus the Home Depot USA Incorporated. That case was out September 14th, 2010. Report and recommendation adopted October 18th, 2010. On November 12th, Ms. Pete occurred a total of $2,803.78 to print select deposition and hearing transcripts, disclosures by the parties, key pleadings, and court orders, photocopies attributable to discovery, copies of pleadings, correspondence documents tendered to the opposing party, copies of exhibits, documents prepared for the court's consideration are all recoverable. Let's see here. Internal quotation marks omitted. Quoting Florida Key Citizens Co. Incorporated versus United States Army Corps of Engineers. Ms. Pete used each of these printed documents to craft substantive arguments, impeach witnesses, facilitate disposition designations, refine the verdict form and jury instructions, and comply with the court's rulings. November 16th, Ms. Pete printed trial exhibits from the joint plaintiff and defendant list totaling $16,035.44. Any surcharge occurred was necessary to ensure that the exhibits were ready ahead of trial the following day. Cost of printing trial exhibits can be taxed. Paloma versus Safe Hurricane Shutters Incorporated. Granting photocopying costs, including for trial exhibits used at trial. Ms. Pete also seeks the cost of copying exhibits from the criminal trial People versus Daystar Pearson, case number BA490599, which were in turn used as exhibits in the civil case. CEG trial exhibits J39, J120, J123, 123, J124, J502, and J503. Ms. Pete needed to seek the leave of both the California trial and the appellate courts to copy these exhibits. Ms. Pete seeks a total of $761.80 as charged by a vendor to copy these physical exhibits at the courthouse. In sum, Ms. Pete's request for printing fees is conservative, represent a fraction of what was necessarily incurred to litigate this case through trial. So this is interesting, because basically what they're doing here, according to, from my point of view, it seems like when they say conservative, that means it's not as much as they really could do. But also too, you got to think about this. with Megan being connected to Rock Nation, Jay-Z's, company, right? Most of that can be written off, as a business expense. But also, too, most companies have lawyers on retainer. There's an in-house legal team, and then there is a consultancy, fee. If you go to a lawyer, hey, let's see the case, let's and the third, let's lay all the facts. Here's a fee for, you being consulted, right? So I think that's where that's going there. 6 people in the building. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Glad to have all of you here in the building with me. We are live on tour right now talking about a motion for award or taxable costs. This just came out about an hour ago. Shout out to the one, the only document things for making it do what it do with that. So, yes, indeed. So let's keep going here. Witness fees comply with 28 USC 1821. Ms. Pete seeks witness fees which are taxable costs under 28 USC 1920. CEG Bar 900 F Sup 2D at 1334, awarding witness fees. Hard Rock International USA Incorporate 2018 WL 18363 778 at 1110. Recommended recovery of witness fees and expenses. At trial, Ms. P presented live testimony from Dr. Lenore Walker, Mel Holland Briggs, and Sean McDermott, among others, pursuant to 28 USC 1821. Ms. P requests covered costs for attendance fees, transportation, and accommodation. Supporting documents for Dr. Lenore Walker is attached as Exhibit G, as Exhibit H for Mel Holland Briggs, and as Exhibit 1 for Sean McDermott. Under 28 USC 1821B, a witness is entitled to a trial attendance fee of $40 per day, as well as for the time necessarily occupied in going to and returning from the place of attendance. Under 28 USC 1821C1, a witness should be provided with the cost of travel in full at the most economical rate reasonably available. Moreover, 28 USC 1821 D1 provides a substantive allowance at per diem rates established by the GSA when overnight stay is required at the place of attendance, because such place is so far removed from the residence of such witnesses as to prohibit return thereto from day to day. For Miami-Dade County during the month of November 2025, the GCSA set a per diem rate of $145 for lodging. So for those of you who don't know what per diem is, think about this. When you went to, let's just say a theme park, or let's just say you went to a zoo or whatever when you were in school, right? That you went on a field trip. You know how like you got like a card for like meals and stuff? That's what per diem is. Now to upgrade that to adult wise, let's just say that you work in corporate America and there's a conference coming up. There are a list of approved hotels that the company will pay for. And of course, there is a list of flights that are made for corporate people that you can book that flight, get a discount on. And I know this because when I went to Nashville, Tennessee for the NAB radio show, my bag, shuttle, and food was paid for. I just had to keep up with the receipts. The dean of communication studies at Kent State University paid for my airplane ticket round trip. Okay, and Kevin Dealey, who used to be the director of student media, said, I need you to go to United Undergrad Student Government and pitch why you deserve to go, and then tell them how much the room is going to be, and then get reimbursed. So the trip was over $1,000, but I had to do what I had to do in order to hustle. But I say all that to say that the per diem was, food, drinks, travel, lodging, everything else. So that's what per diem is. It's just basically a lot of allowance. So yes, indeed, there. I only say that for context, conjecture, and connection, because sometimes, y'all, when it comes to speaking to stuff like this, not everybody has ever had a per diem before. Everybody has had an allowance for a trip. when it came to, corporate America, or if you're just getting into the game. So we help each other out over here. Sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. Dr. Lenore Walker. Dr. Walker is a clinical and forensic psychologist who examined and diagnosed Ms. Pete as having post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Dr. Walker testified on November 19th. Plaintiff requests her lodging costs of $580 per the GSA rate, local transportation costs of $24.60, attendance fee of $120 for 2 days of travel and 1 day testimony, for a total of $724.60. Emil Holland Briggs. Mr. Holland Briggs formerly worked as a content moderator for a defendant. Mr. Holland Briggs flew in from out of state to testify on November 20th, 2025. Plaintiff seeks his lodging. Cost of $435, economy flight fare of $993.36, local transportation cost of $308.76, for a total of $1,737.72. Sean McDermott. Mr. McDermott is the managing director of FTI Consulting, an outside forensic expert approved by the parties to image defendant's phone. Basically, just scan through the phone for photos, video, audio, text, what have you. Even if you have like a notepad, it notes that that goes into discovery as well. Or could go into discovery, can go into discovery, and more than likely will go into discovery if it's necessary for the trial. Mr. McDermott testified on November 20th. Plaintiff seeks his lodging cost of $290, local transportation cost of $355.19, his attendance fee of $120 for 2 days of travel and 1 day of testimony, for a total of $765.19. In conclusion, wherefore Ms. Pete respectfully requests the court tax $68,850.79 as costs in her favor against defendant. And then here is everybody here. Marie F. Henderson, Marie Hefrian, that is from Quinn, Emmanuel Eckhart and Sullivan. And then over here, Daniel L. Humphrey and Joanna E. Manello, Stephanie Kelman. I believe that is, attorneys for plaintiff Megan Pete. And then right here is for Mliagro Cooper. And then right here, certificate of conferral. Pursuant to local rule 7.3c, I hereby certify that the undersigned counsel for Ms. Pete conferred with counsel for defendant on December 30th and 31st of 2025 and January 2nd, 2026 in a good faith effort to resolve disputed costs. However, defendant objects to the relief sought here in Daniel L. Humphrey. And then right here, certificate of service, I hereby certify that on January 2nd, 2026, I electronically filed the foregoing documents with the clerk of the court using CFECF, through which a true correct copy of the foregoing was served on the following Jeremy McLitt. That is the person for Mliagro Gramz, Mliagro Cooper. So those are all 12 pages. Child. The smart ones knew that this story was far from over. Okay, I'm just gonna keep that book right now. Oh my God, man! Just imagine that, like starting off the new year, and you have this. My Lord Jesus, man! It looks like it's gonna be another. Year of law. For sure. Now, of course, Document Tings will upload everything here. Let me show y'all the channel here. So here it is. Here, Will Smith sued by professional violinist Brian King Joseph. Tyler Perry sued again, and then Mliagro Cooper, Megan Stallion. Megan teams up with Clark Locke LLP, and then of course Megan seeks real estate defamation verdict. So this is the channel right here for Document Tings. Of course, he is known on Twitter as well. Let me check Twitter to see if there's any updates on this. And shout out to the 5 people that are still here. Thank you all so much for being here. Shout out to the 11 people that came through at the beginning. And like I said, I do feel for the people who are subscribers because it's just like, well, you get to the fucking content. I feel y'all, but then again, every content creator has their process to start their show. Okay, so yes, indeed. But all love, grace, and space to each and every single one of you. Let me refresh this. We'll go back to documentations. Damn, that's crazy though. So if this happens, Mliagro will have to pay, like I said, $127,850.79. Child, that's a damn shame. And Shoe Junkie 0321BU says, damn, and Megan's expensive attorney's fees ain't been added yet. Laughing my fucking ass off. So the people on Twitter are saying things. They feeling things. And they embracing some things. You know what? I'm gonna do something real quick. We'll see if this works. Hey, I'm Braylon Lee, a content creator on YouTube. I'm live right now. Now, this may or may not work, y'all, so we'll see. If you want to come on, I would love to talk to you. And see what your take is on all of this. You are a legend for sure. Okay. Reply. And we'll see, y'all. Like I said, documenting does not have to come to the channel. You know what I mean? And also, too, let me just say this. Some people are more grown than others. If you do a DM to a content creator and they don't respond to you, right? Just breathe for a minute to think that maybe it's not about you, because there is on Instagram that request feature, and based on how content creators are and their history of what they've been through, sometimes people troll, sometimes people are mean, sometimes people are just out the way. So sometimes it's not even you. Okay, so listen. People got the right to respond to you or not respond to you. Documenting comes, that's great, but if not, it's all good. It's all good. OMG, and just think Mliagro went on Victor lap only for this to happen. Yep. So much for new me that Armand is shaking in his boots. Well, I will say this, right? When it comes to Armand, I think, and like I said, I definitely respect Armand for what he has done. Because, like I said, Nancy Grace Daily, Nancy Grace Vanity Fair, TMZ, News Nation. He has hit some big places, right? Definitely been in some big rooms. And that is hard work and dedication. I think where I disagree with him vehemently on is the fact of, first of all, the new media thing is not really a thing. Because I covered that in one of my live streams, right? I think that blew everybody away, child. But with that being said, I covered it in one of my lives that in 2014, there was a case that already adjudicated, made whole, and this, that, and the third, that bloggers, do have protections, right? But in that defamation claim, right, that Megan Thee Stallion filed, they said that bloggers only have protections if they are non-biased and they are not trying to promote a business and they're not trying to do this, that, and the third to hurt somebody, right? I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what it is. And so when it came to that, I did push back on Armand on that, because I'm just like, bruh, you got on a list for a Hot 97 and she got sued. Y'all aren't the same. Sorry, not sorry. So I do think that Armand should be shaking in his boots for the fact of the weight of this is not over. And this should be a lesson for Armand and for all of us, right? And I'm not saying Armand's a bad person. I don't know him to call him a good or bad person, nor does he know me to know that if I'm a good or bad person. But it's just the principle of the thing that there are consequences for what you do. And it was never about the money. It was about the principle of, you really think you can do 20 on 10 and you don't think that your calculations can't be checked? You know what I mean? So that's how I truly feel about it. Don't send any hate to Armand. Armand has his opinion, but the facts are the facts. You know what I mean? So, and for everybody that supports Mliagro, Mob Radio, the supporters of that entity, and that's being kind, I would say go do what Mliagro did and let's see if you make it. Go do that to another celebrity and let's see if you make it. Go do that to another celebrity and let's see if you make it. Just saying. And I think Armand knows that through this lesson, right, that Mliagro really didn't even have to go through. There is a cost to standing for something. And there's a difference between standing for something and ending up like Martin Luther King Jr. And because of what he did in the civil rights movement did, Mliagro has the privileges to act this much of a fucking fool versus what Mliagro did for standing for something, and she just got a motion for an award of taxable costs that is going to make Mliagro even more broke than she is, because Mliagro said that she was $10,000 in the hole and she lost her only source of income, stationary contract that was $6,330 a month. And like I said before, it's always interesting to me when people, have opinions about, content creators, whether it's reading court documents, even though other people read court documents, but you ain't gonna have the same energy for them, but yet you ain't got no damn subscribers in your fucking damn self. I'm not talking about to Royal Adontis. I'm talking about just, there's some subscribers out there that love to hear their own stupidity because nobody listens to them in real life and makes them feel intelligent in real life. If that ain't for you, don't pick that up. Okay. And in the same token of, subscribers saying this and, how people should move and this, that, the third, to me, this is what it is. This story, this destination, this, space was not going to be over when the verdict dropped down. And just because a content creator is covering that destination, that story, what have you, does not mean that they're trying to be mean, willful, malicious. Just keeping it buck. Some people can actually follow the business at hand and move the fuck on. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't get people who feel like they can be holier than thou to say what people should and should not do, but yet you're not doing what you need to do. Okay? Because, child, child. But you know what? You brought up Armand Wiggins, right? You brought up Armand Wiggins. And I'm going to bring him up here in just a minute. But I just want to show everybody what we do over here real quick. And that's fine, child. We're good. I just want to show y'all something, okay? We've only been in the new year for 2 days. Okay? Only 2 days. Only 2 days, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows already, okay? Mario Rodriguez, Tyler Perry, A$AP Rocky, Megan Thee Stallion, Kia, Sprinkles Cupcakes, Anderson Cooper, MTV, The Game, Will Smith. Like, we cover other stuff over here, okay? So for anybody to believe that somebody has to be a one-trick pony, like another supposed content creator that they had to wait until November 15th to create content, and then they decided to do a year in review, but yet they went back to talk about a person that they say they can't stand. If you just don't have any content, then just say that shit. But don't go after other people who can handle the assignment and move on to other assignments. That's what you should not do. Just keeping it a buck. If you stick to the prompt won't be about you. That's it. That's it. All this content was last year's content. Okay. So let me bring up Armand Wiggins, because I'm sure Armand is going to go off about this. I'm sure he is. But in the meantime, between time, he had some things to say, because you all may or may not know that 2 members of Mliagro's team quit. So with that being said, let's go to this. Ciao. We're live. Here we go.
Apparently, it's brokenness. You see.
Now, I will say this, right? So there was one lawyer, before we get to Armand. There was one lawyer that quit because she didn't have any money. That was reported on, I believe, on site reported on that. I believe other people have reported on it. And then these 2 lawyers that are, well, Armand didn't mention the 2 lawyers, but he brought up the tweet that you're about to see from Mliagro's team. You're about to see the tweet that Mliagro tweeted that that 2 lawyers also quit. So to D. Joyce's point, and welcome in, glad to have you here. This girl wrote Megan's coattails for years now. Meg has stopped her content. She has no clue how to navigate. That's what I'm saying. Like, there are people who can navigate. Hello. Hello. Just, in the words of Karen Huger, I can only judge what you're giving me. All of this content right here, all of this. I've been on my own wave, okay? Listen, so, Mliagro saying, well, other people, no, this is all you. Okay? This is all you. I'm just still scrolling content that we've done over here, okay? We covered a lot last year. All right? So, just want to keep it a buck, child, because I just... See, still scrolling. All right, now let's get to our Marcus, child. Wait till y'all hear this. This right here was something. Here we go.
Apparently, it's brokenness. You see. Apparently Mliagro Gramz is broke as a joke. So far gone that Megan Thee Stallion, because Megan Thee Stallion did not get the win and upset that she was desiring, she is, I think, fired her entire legal team, running it back with a new legal team doing the appeal process and trying to get it where Mliagro Cooper cannot mention her name. So she's still trying to drag her through court on the back end.
Yep.
Mliagro's lawyers, you know how we are as black people.
Child,
We'll do a 1 and a 2. Once you get us to 3 and 4, nigga, you got to pay. It sounded good during court. Oh, yeah, we hear black girl, it's this, that, the third. They got her as far as they could.
I'm just looking to see if Document Tings responded. Yeah.
The one woman left immediately. She wasn't the best anyway. She was from New York. She had the cornrows to the back and she was wearing the Prada boots every day. That hoe, she left. She quit immediately after trial. She told Mliagro and she withdrew. And she said, I'm quitting because she ain't got no money. All that black girl rock and black girl magic, that was done with. And, you know, me, if I wanted to really be messy, I could have drugged that story when it first happened a couple of weeks ago. Since then, the other 2 lawyers said they were going to stay. But actually, Jeremy's finance decided, you know what, she's too goddamn broke for me to be dealing with this. So Jeremy and the other soft-spoken lady, they too quit. They said all this pro bono shit ain't working and I'm not getting famous enough for it. It's not enough. It's not making enough sense. All this work got going on, Mliagro. You talk too much and goddamn it, you did it. And your stupid ass went set with Tasha K. And you still ain't got no money. You making more work harder for us because you still won't shut your stupid ass up. Now I quit. Mliagro Gramz posted on Twitter that the other 2 lawyers have now quit and whoop-de-fucking-do. Let's see what she says.
Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Oh, you haven't seen none yet, child. Wait, just wait.
So when I get an order from Hungry Root, it makes me so happy because it's like one less thing.
You know what? Shout out to this woman who is so happy about Hungry Root, but I am hungry to get into the root of what Armand's about to say. Skip it. That's how
the other 2 lawyers I had will be withdrawing from the case as well. Woof-de-doo. Well, at this point, it doesn't get any more broker than this.
Woo.
You mean to tell me rich ass Tasha K didn't pay you for your interview? You mean rich ass Tasha K couldn't tell you how to get some money for the legal fees? You mean to tell me you sat there and hated on me like that? For free? That's why that triggered you so in that Hot 97 when they was, you know, silently negotiating $250,000 because all you could think of is that other 50 you needed, huh? You's a dummy, bitch. I told you to follow my lead and listen to me, but instead you wanted to follow broke ass Tasha K. Mliagro Gramz, I need you to take a seat and comb out your wig. Lonnie Love, Lonnie Gramz, Lonnie Cooper. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. You can't give me no motherfucking advice. Okay? Now, what advice am I supposed to be taking from you? Bitch, you taking L's left and right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not here bragging, but I'm just saying. My lawyer has been paid. However the outcome comes, it's gonna come. But she got her coin, so she better do her job.
Let me tell you something. If Empire was on, and I'm gonna say this right fucking now, if Empire was on, tell me why I feel like Armand would be a cousin of Lucius and Mliagro Gramz would be Lucius Lyon's enemy's cousin trying to get a job at Empire Records. I said what the fuck I said. Let's go back to Armand Wiggins, damn it. I cannot do this shit.
You sitting up there hating and taking pictures with Tasha K instead of doing a call to action to figure out a way to pay. You worried about the wrong thing. You set your Lonnie Love wig wearing ass up there with Tasha K and still haven't paid them lawyers. And she didn't help you. You set your Lonnie Love wig wearing ass up there and hated on me. Somebody that had your back. Somebody that was rooting for you. What happened to the money? Lonnie Gramz, where's the money? Are the subscribers not sending any money? You set your Lonnie Love wig wearing ass on station head for free, crying in a car about me. You should have at least made a coin off of that, Lonnie. Damn.
At Birdie Gray, we believe every bride and bridesmaid deserves to feel stunned.
Wait, there's more, child. There's more.
Somebody put Lonnie Gramz in the chat. You said your Lonnie Love wig wearing ass up there and Kiki with Tory Lanez's family like that. And they couldn't even give you no money on the interim. Oh my God. Listen here, Lonnie. You fried Lonnie Love wig wearing asshole.
I need him to stop saying Lonnie.
I was rooting for you, sis.
No way, Armand. Hang on, Armand. You know what? Armand is being very tame right now. You know what? I'm gonna bring in a special guest, a very special guest that knows about rooting for people. Give me a moment. I know her personally. I got her on speed dial virtually, okay? Because we know people around here, okay? Around here. Give me one moment. Give me one moment, child, because this right here.
For you. Sometimes when our lives are so hard and so difficult and something that is so fantastic comes about, sometimes we feel like we're not worth it. And if you don't feel you're worth it, then none of these people behind me and I won't feel like you're worth it. We think maybe you might need a little bit more time to look in that mirror, find some self-esteem, and start loving yourself. This is a really difficult decision tonight. Put me in a very difficult place tonight.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 40.
Both of you will pack your bags. Return to the loft. Thank you.
Cheer up, waterheads. Looking all sad, but come on, luck. Come on. Oh, girl, you gotta stop. Freaking like that.
Can you guys stand in front of me? I just want to say one more thing too. Tiffany, I'm extremely disappointed in you. This is a joke to you. You've been through anger management. You've been through your grandmother getting her lights turned off to buy you a swimsuit for this competition. And you go over there and you joke and you laugh. This is serious to these girls. And this should be serious to you.
Looks can be deceiving. I'm hurt. I am. But I can't change it, Tyra. I've been...
Yes, you can.
No,
You can't change what?
I'm sick of crying about stuff that I cannot change. I'm sick of being disappointed. I'm sick of all of it. I'm not.
You're not sick of being disappointed,
Yes,
Tiffany.
obviously I am.
No, you're not. If you were sick of being disappointed, you would stand up and you would take control of your destiny. Do you know that you had a possibility to win? Do you know that all of America is rooting for you? Do you know that? And then you come in here and you treat this like a joke? You come in here and look at that and say, I can't read that. You read 10 times better than half of those girls over there.
You did. You did.
And you come in here with a defeatist attitude.
I don't have a bad attitude. Maybe I am angry inside. I've been through stuff, so I'm angry.
Yes,
Everybody-
but it's not, this is not, be
Okay,
quiet,
but
Tiffany.
everybody
Be
don't-
quiet.
That's what is
I'm
wrong
not
with
trying
you.
to-
But you're not.
Stop it!
Oh my God, girl.
I have never in my life yelled at a girl like this. When my mother yells at this, it's because she loves me. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this. When you go to bed at night, you lay there and you take responsibility for yourself, because nobody's going to take responsibility for you. You roll in your eyes and you act like this because you've heard it all before. You've heard it all before. You don't know where the hell I come from. You have no idea what I've been through. But I'm not a victim. I grow from it and I learn. Take responsibility for yourself.
I think that's what Armand was trying to say. Let's get back to Armand now. With the one, the only Lonnie Gramz. Here we go.
I was rooting for you. But you
I just timed out perfectly.
can't give me no advice.
Oh my God.
On what to do and how to move. I'm not saying I got all the answers, but shit, you don't got none. You leave me alone, Lonnie Gramz. You've got bigger fish to fry, Lonnie Gramz. You've got kids that need to eat and bills that need to be paid. Lawyer fees are due. Lonnie Gramz, you leave me alone. I tried to be there for you, Lonnie Gramz. I tried.
Okay?
Okay.
I can't believe you. And everybody ran. You know black people don't play. Lonnie Gramz sat up there and played those games with them niggas. Them niggas said, okay, we're going to do this real quick. We're going to do a pro bono. It's going to look good for us. They lost the case. They didn't get as famous as they thought they would. The case kind of was a flop on both ends. Megan Thee Stallion said, we're going to keep it.
I'm going to push back because one of them can actually afford to fight for themselves, and the other one got themselves in some shit that they didn't have to, and admit that they were $10,000 in the hole. So no, it was not bad on both sides. It was about Mliagro's side. Let's continue. Now listen, you done a lot of hard work for yourself, but you also, you can be wrong sometimes. But no hate to Armand, but just keeping it a buck. Let's keep going.
Them, all three of them niggas said, I'm out of here. The ghetto one that talked too much with the cornrows to the back, she was done after the day it was. She said, shit, we lost Lonnie Gramz, and fuck you. The nigga tried to stay in there a little bit longer, but he was thinking there saying, shit. Lonnie Gramz said, this is too much fucking work. And then she won't shut the fuck up. Then she went and said with bald-headed ass Tasha K, and still ain't ran me my money? Oh, nigga, no. Oh, no, nigga, no. Lonnie Gramz is done. So all the niggas took that shit and got off.
He said that like an uncle at a family reunion barbecue. Hey, did you hear that Stewie got his car repossessed? Oh, no, nigga, no. Oh, no, nigga, no. No. How that happened? Well, I didn't pay my bill. Oh, no, nigga, no. He should take that and put it with the soundboard just press. Y'all know what I gotta say about this? Oh, nah, nigga, no. and then when it came to the Lonnie Grams, I tried to help you, Lonnie Grams. Stay away from me, Lonnie Grams. I bind you in the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, Hoodoo, and the power of Tia and Tamara, those damn Twitches, to bind you back to hell. One more time.
Real quick, we're going to do a pro bono. It's going to look good for us. They lost the case. They didn't get as famous as they thought they would. The case kind of was a flop on both ends.
Oh, God.
Megan Thee Stallion said, we're going to keep it going. All three of them niggas said, I'm out of here. The ghetto one that talked too much with the cornrows to the back, she was done after the day it was. She said, shit, we lost Lonnie Grams, and fuck you. The nigga tried to stay in there a little bit longer, but he was thinking this and shit. Lonnie Graham said, this is too much fucking work. And then she won't shut the fuck up. Then she went and said with bald-headed ass Tasha K and still ain't ran me my money? Oh, nigga, no. Oh, no, nigga, no. Lonnie Grams is done.
One more time.
Nigga tried to stay in there a little bit longer.
Right there.
Then she went and said with bald-headed ass Tasha K and still ain't ran me my money? Oh, nigga, no. Oh, no, nigga, no. Lonnie Grams is done.
Oh, my God.
So all the niggas took their shit and got off. Oh, Lonnie Grams. And then, aren't you fighting another case in Houston, Lonnie Grams?
We talked about that on the channel. Camp Mob.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile with a very
available here for you.
exciting announcement for parents everywhere. It's called Mint.
I tried to support you, and you ran over there to bald-headed ass, bull-dagged ass, haircut looking ass Tasha K. To throw me under the bus for what? And then you hated on me. You might think you better than me, but you're not. One thing you definitely are, though, stupider and broker. Those are two things for sure. Definitely not smarter. I don't give a shit what you think. It don't pay to hate, clearly. How much money did you make from hating on me, Lonnie Grams? How much money did all them motherfuckers you brought up there to cry and hyperventilate, did they send you $20? You had that woman getting up there, you can't quit. You can't quit. Bitch, please. She better quit. It's whores like you that got her up there in the position she's in, but then when the shit go down, that Lonnie Grams wig wearing ass bitch can't even afford to pay the legal fees. You sit up there, you cried like that. Y'all sit up there and you gaslit that woman. She's the blueprint. The devil is rewarding his people, and you can't quit, Lonnie Cooper. And not at the end of none of that, I heard any of you motherfuckers offer $1. Shortly after that, Lonnie Grams came out and said, hey, the other lawyers are quitting. And I'm thinking, really? How could they be quitting when you've got people crying in the car with you?
I believe her other
denouncing
case,
me.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe her other case is criminal because it was a SA. It was of a SA Energy. Let me see. Cam. So it's a, let me see. So it's a SA lawsuit. Okay, so it's a civil lawsuit. Okay. The phrase civil sexual battery lawsuit refers to civil lawsuits alleging sexual battery. So that's basically what that is. It's a civil suit. A crime is like if you actually committed it, like first degree. You know what I mean? So so yes, indeed there. So yeah. So she's got that case. And we do have that for you guys on the channel here. Let me see. Give me a moment. Because, yep, I remember covering that too. Like I said, we cover a multitude of things over here. Right here. Right here. So if you want all the intel on that lawsuit, right here. This one right here. The Mliagro Gramz SA lawsuit breakdown Townhall right there. Okay, back to Amon here. Here we go.
Yes, the devil. You mean to tell me? You mean to tell me? Yes, that they didn't even have $10?
I don't know. Oh, no problem.
So you cried on station head for free, and they cried with you for free. I don't need you to cry with me. Any of my people ever get up here and start crying with me, I'm gonna ask you, let's cry in money. Let's cry in financial blessings. Let the tears rain down in coins. You know what I'm saying? Don't be sad for me.
He was so
Show me how
he was so wrong for that shit.
But
let's not cry in tears.
Reach deep into your purse.
Let's cry financial
deep
blessings.
down into your wallet.
Wait a minute, I can't cry $1 million, motherfucker.
And marinate and cry and feel the feelings of remorse and sadness for me. Swipe it a swipe and put in that CVV and that expiration date. And show me just how deeply you feel for me. Now, I don't need you to sit up here and call me and cry and tell me don't quit. Because goddamn it, I'm going to quit because I ain't got no money. Now I know why she was sitting there finna quit. Lonnie Gramz is broke. I throw all this shit away too. Lonnie Gramz, it may be time to pivot. Because at this point, you're just talking into air and nothing is coming in return. Lonnie Gramz, I think this may be the season where you do a rebrand, maybe go get a job. I don't know. Maybe, go work at the local hair salon. I don't know what you like to do. Maybe go read children's books. I don't know. But I wouldn't get on here running my mouth on the internet. Your supporters are a joke. You don't have the infrastructure and the finances to back it up. Not the type of way that you want to give it up. Lonnie Gramz, I think your day has come where you need a rebrand. All that nigga girl and trying to be the hard, round the way, EBT, backwoods smoking, blunt popping, pill popping, porch, for local cut water drinking, fried catfish having on the weekend.
Watch it on your own time. There's the link right
there. Rocker cheer grandma, whatever. Not your grandma per se, but I'm just saying all that whole Texas Southern, driving to a ditch, Beaumont ass, let's kick the chicken head, that's kickball, kind of like round the way, kind of like, listen, stop trying to be relatable to the gutter because you're manifesting brokenness. You're manifesting struggle. See, this is the secret. You are what you envision yourself as. So you keep envisioning yourself as nigga girl from around the way, swampland, back roads, Uncle Yuck and Uncle Buck. You'll stay broke. You'll stay broke. Lonnie, you'll stay broke. You'll stay broke, Lonnie. Oh, yes. You'll stay broke. You better change your mentality.
So I have a feeling Armand Wiggins will have plenty to say. And by the way, y'all, here is Document Tings with the footage right here, with the video uploaded, rather 14 views 37 minutes ago. Right here, like I said, if you guys want me to play it, I will definitely play it. I don't mind. I'm here with y'all just to chill. I still got to watch Ready to Love and figure out if the squad is going to go live today or Sunday, because it depends on what's going on. But wanted to come on here with you guys because it is breaking news. Now, of course, you know what's going to end up happening, right? Because, see, I'm covering this from the media point of view. Okay, we're talking about the creator economy. We're talking about, social media, legacy media. That's the angle I'm covering this from, right? So my video, it'll get views, but Armand covering it, or Conscious TV covering it, or I don't even think Lovely T has covered this. But other content creators covering it is going to make it do what it do. For sure. Wait a minute. I'm frozen. Give me a moment. Yeah, I'm coming back. Looks like I'm asleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. There we go. I'm back. Google got time for you. By the way, that's a great meme. But anyway, with that being said, this is going to be an interesting week. Because this was filed today, so Mliagro will be talked about on YouTube once again. She doesn't go live on YouTube; she goes live on Twitch. So she said there's not a gag order anymore, so she can talk about it. More than likely, what will probably happen is she will go on Station Head, and either Karmic Resolution or Crazy Files will upload the Station Head audio and make it do what it do with that. But yes, indeed, so. But yeah, with that being said, y'all, I'm here just to chill out with y'all. I'm going to play Document Tings video. It's only 38 minutes because Document Tings gave us the tea. I think it's only fair to promote Document Tings here. So here we go.
Hey, guys, come on in. Have a seat. We got a court update. Megan Thee Stallion has filed a motion for award of taxable costs against Mliagro Elizabeth Cooper in the amount of $68,850.79. As y'all already know, I got the court documents. So let's get into it.
Documenting, bringing truth to the light. Paper trail strong, yeah, we read it. From the docket to the drop, every case, every scene. I'm your courtroom reporter with the facts in between. Documenting, bringing truth to the light. Paper trail strong, yeah, we reading it right. From the docket to the drop, every case, every scene. I'm your courtroom reporter with the facts in between.
All right, y'all already know about my copyright disclaimer under Section 107.
So, according to the University of Delaware, people with an IQ of 115 and above can perform any job without intellectual restrictions. This means you can handle complex tasks, manage multiple responsibilities, and adapt to different roles. Essentially, you can figure out almost any job. People with an IQ around 110 are usually foremen, clerks, telephone operators, electricians. An IQ of 100 and above is common for machine operators, shopkeepers, and welders. And an average IQ of 90 is generally associated with manual jobs such as gardening, labor, and factory packing. So basically, it has been proven that your IQ is directly related to your career and job opportunity.
And also my QR code to my X page. Let's get right on into the actual document itself. Plaintiff motion for award of taxable costs. Plaintiff Megan Pete by and through her counsel in pursuant, and as y'all can see there go the little case laws there, hereby moves for a judgment taxing costs against defendant Mliagro Cooper. Miss Pete.
And like I said, y'all, I've already read all this. I'm just playing it so that way we can give Document Ting some promotion here. I'm a big believer in when somebody has done the work, the least you can do is promote them. And let me drop Document Ting's YouTube channel in the live chat here. Because like I said, I remember when I first got started, and you know, it takes each one to reach one to teach one to elevate each one. You know what I mean? So this is Document Ting's YouTube channel right here. Okay, so we're just playing this just to give support to Document Ting.
As the prevailing party in this action is entitled to an award of taxable costs as a matter of law. In support of this motion, Ms. Pete's bill of costs and accompanying exhibits are attached. All right, so we're going to skip right over the background because we are already aware. But if you take a look at the bottom right there, $68,850.79. We're going to get into the breakdown below. So let's continue. So pause your screen if you want to read over those case laws there, but we're going to go right here. Number 1 through 6. Fees of the clerk and marshal. Fees for printed or electronically recorded transcripts necessarily obtained for use in this case. Fees and disbursements for printing and witnesses. Fees for exemplification and the cost of making copies of any materials where the copies are necessarily obtained for use in this case. Docket fees under section 1923 of this title, compensation of court-appointed experts, compensation of interpreters, and salaries, fees, expenses, and costs of special interpretation services under section 1828 of this title. Okay. Now we're going to go right down here to argument. Ms. P is entitled to her taxable cost as the prevailing party. Ms. P, as the prevailing party, is entitled to her taxable cost. All right, that's a case law there. Here, however, the jury returned a verdict in Ms. P's favor on all 3 of her claims, awarding her compensatory and punitive damages. See docket 226. While the jury's findings as to defendant alleged media defendant status resulted in the court entering final judgment only as to counts 2 and 3, which is IIED, which is an acronym for intentional infliction of emotional distress, and then promotion of an altered sexual depiction. The jury indisputably found defendant liable of count 1, which is defamation per se, and falsely accusing Ms. P of the crime of perjury. Ms. Pete's request costs fees of the clerk, service fees, costs of deposition, transcripts, and videos for witnesses unavailable at trial, hearing transcript costs, printing costs for trial, and witness fees were necessarily and reasonably incurred to present her case. Ms. P is entitled to recover service of process fees, pro hac vice fees, and docket fees. All right, so as y'all can see right here, first, Ms. Pete requests a total of $1,064 for service of the summons and complaint on defendant and subpoenas on key third parties. The supporting invoices are attached as Exhibit A. Now, we will get into those later on in the video, but let's continue. As y'all can see right there, for each item served, Ms. P only seeks the minimum statutory fee that the U.S. Marshals may collect, which is $65 per hour for personal service and $8 by mail. For service of the summons and complaint on defendant, Ms. P requests $130 or the amount the U.S. Marshals charge for 2 hours. As the corresponding invoice shows, it took 2 attempts to successfully serve defendant.
Listen, paying $14.99 a month for a streaming app and $9.99 a month for
Hey everybody, we are still live on tour here. I'm just playing Document Ting's video to give him some love. This is his YouTube channel here, the link that is on your screen right now. Like, comment, share, subscribe to Document Teams on YouTube. For those of you who are wondering what's going on, there has been a motion for award of taxable costs. We read that live here on YouTube. It literally came out like 3 hours ago on Twitter. According to Document Teams, I was just, laying here in bed, chilling out. It's too cold outside. It's 24 degrees. I am inside my place. And just looking just to see what was going on in the world. And I saw that. I'm like, yep, this is breaking news. Let's go live on tour and talk about it. So we're just playing this video just to give Document Teams rather some love, grace, and space, because Document Teams has definitely been stomping the yard, and it doesn't hurt to be supportive of people who are trying to do something good in the neighborhood. So that's all we're doing here. Glad to have you here, everybody. Here we go.
Music app and 12.
Awarding service of process fees for 11 attempts, with each attempt granted the $65 rate that the U.S. Marshals charge per hour. Regarding document subpoenas, Ms. Pete seeks to recover fees in serving AT&T Zelle, which is Early Warning Service LLC, California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. As y'all can know, that was for Tory Lanez, or as known as Sunstar Peterson. Okay, so we're just going to go down to the bottom here. You can pause your screen, but we're going to go right here to where it says Ms. Pete seeks $195 for 3 personal service attempts on Sunstar Peterson, $138 for 1 mail and 2 personal service on Daystar Peterson for his 3 deposition volumes, $65 for 1 personal service on Caesar McDowell, $65 for 1 personal service on Livingston Allen, and $65 for 1 personal service on Emil Holland Briggs, which, as some of us know him as Noir King. Second, Ms. Pete seeks the taxation of $750 in pro hac vice fees. The court has exercised discretion in awarding such fees as cost of the clerk, and that is case law, as y'all can see all up and through that. We're going to start right where it says Ms. Pete. Ms. Pete requests $250 per application for each of the 3 examining attorneys at trial, which is Mary Hyapetian, Joanna Manillo, and Stephanie Kellerman. The supporting invoices are attached as Exhibit B. Finally, pursuant to 28 U.S.C., which is a case law there, docket fees are a taxable costs. Now, let's get into that. Ms. Pete requests that the court tax $405 in filing fee for opening this civil action. Okay. Now we're going to go right here to the cost Ms. Pete incurred for transcripts and deposition videos were necessary and appropriate. Ms. Pete seeks recovery on the cost of select deposition transcripts and videos in hearing transcripts that were necessarily obtained for use in this case. Ms. Pete can recover fees for printed or electronically recorded transcripts necessarily obtained for use in this case. She meets that burden of showing necessity and reasonableness. For depositions, a prevailing party may recover the cost of transcribing and videotaping a deposition under 1920 if the notice of deposition indicated that the deposition would be recorded by stenographic and non-stenographic means. The opposing party did not object to the method of recordation prior to the deposition, and the prevailing party explains why it was necessary to obtain both a transcript and video recording of the deposition, and that is the case law there. All right, now we do have a lot of case laws, but look at that dollar amount. This total, just for the deposition and the videotaping, $41,654.30, supported by invoices appended to Exhibit D. Now, again, we will get into those exhibits later on in the video. Deposition transcripts and videos for the following witnesses should be taxed: Ms. Pete herself, which was live testimony; the defendant, which was live testimony; Emil Holland Briggs, which was live testimony; Sunstar Peterson, which is deposition designation; Daystar Peterson, which was deposition designation; Antonio Toll-Free, which was deposition designation. Caesar McDowell, deposition designation. And Livingston Allen, which was deposition designation. Except for the parties and Mr. Holland Griggs, all other witnesses were unavailable at trial. I'm keep getting that word tongue-tied, y'all. Necessitating the designation of their depositions and use of the corresponding videos and transcripts. Defendant also named Sunstar Peterson, Daystar Peterson, and Livingston Allen on her trial witness list. Refer back to docket 133-4, which was defendant's witness list. Okay. Furthermore, Ms. Pete seeks reimbursement of transcript costs totaling $2,148.96 for the following hearings. On July the 14th of 2025, that was a hearing on defendant's discovery deficiencies and spoliation. Again, which is number 2 on August the 7th of 2025, which was the evidentiary hearing regarding defendant spoliation. Then again on October the 30th of 2025, which was the first pretrial conference. And then again on November the 10th, which was the second pretrial conference. The total amount is a reduced
Still here with y'all.
Calculated with the lowest rate of $4.84 per page. Invoices are attached as Exhibit E. Again, we will review that at the end of this video. Following the July 14th, 2025 and August 7th, 2025 evidentiary hearings, the court determined that defendant had destroyed and concealed key evidence and granted spoliation sanctions. Refer back to docket 93. Okay. Specifically, the court held that Ms. Pete was entitled to jury instructions that defendant intended to deprive plaintiff of the evidence in the deleted messages and chats, that at least some of the deleted messages related to the claims in this case were about plaintiff, and that these deleted messages were unfavorable to defendant. And you can refer back to docket 152 and 39. All right. And then also docket 224, which was the court's instructions to the jury at 3-4. Ms. Pete referred to these 2 hearing transcripts to prepare jury instructions, examine and impeach a defendant at trial, and confer with defense counsel post-trial regarding an appropriate award of attorney fees for having to move on defendant spoliation. As for the October the 30th of 2025 and November the 10th of 2025 pre-trial conferences, okay, these transcripts were necessarily for finalizing trial exhibits, refining the verdict form and jury instructions, and presenting Ms. Pete's case in adherence to the court's rulings. Furthermore, Ms. Pete relied on these transcripts to argue against defendant's classification as a media defendant during trial and in her post-trial motion to reinstate the jury verdict on the defamation claim. Now, I did also, I'm going to take a quick pause. I did post.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have all of you here. We are just chillaxing and glad to have all of you here. Like I said, the news is there is a motion for award of taxable costs. We read the information live. We're just playing Document Team's video just to give him promotion here on the channel. So I'm still here with y'all live on tour. Here we go.
That I'm gonna attach the video to the end of this video, but I posted where Megan Thee Stallion teamed up, right? She's teamed up with one of the top defamation firms in the world, which is Claire Locke LLP. She had moved to appear as amicus curiae, right, in support of Megan Pete's motion to reinstate the jury's defamation verdict. So I will attach that. You know how you see the subscription and all that jazz. I will put that at the end of the video for y'all. Okay, so let me unpause now. Their necessity justifies Ms. Pete's recovery, and that is case law there. Okay, now let's get into the cost of Ms. Pete's incurred for printing where necessary and appropriate. Ms. Pete seeks $19,601.02 for necessarily and reasonably incurred photocopying costs limited to select days leading up to trial. These costs are permissibly taxed under 28 USC 1920, and you can refer back to that case law there. Ms. Pete has omitted any costs incurred for counsel's convenience, such as for custom tabs and delivery, as well as the cost of printing trial boards or physical exhibits such as models and charts. And you can refer back to that case law there. On November the 12th, Ms. Pete incurred a total of $2,803.78 to print select deposition and hearing transcripts, disclosures by the parties, key pleadings, and court orders, photocopies attributable to discovery, copies of pleadings, correspondence, documents tendered to the opposing party, copies of exhibits, and documents prepared for the court's consideration are all recoverable. And that is case law there. Ms. Pete used each of these printed documents to craft substantive arguments, impeach witnesses, facilitate deposition designations, refine the verdict form and jury instructions, and comply with the court's rulings. On November the 16th, Ms. Pete printed trial.
D. Joyce says Meg took it easy on Mliagro with the fee. She only asked for the minimum amounts, and that's exactly why I said what I said when it came to the conservative part of this, when she said conservatively, which means she could have been liberal with the shit she wanted to. So yes, indeed. There we are still live on tour playing the one, the only, the legend that Document Things is. We're playing his video to give him some love, grace, and space over here on our channel. So if you don't hear me, that's because I'm allowing Document Things to have the floor. I gave my interpretation of the documents, showed you the motion for appeal from Mliagro Gramz, and we also watched Armand give his take to Mliagro's two lawyers leading the case, and I'm sure he will have something to say about these documents. So here we go.
Exhibits from the joint plaintiff and defendant list totaling $16,035.44. Any surcharge incurred was necessary to ensure that the exhibits were ready ahead of trial the following day. Cost of printing trial exhibits can be taxed, and that's the case law there. Ms. Pete also seeks the cost of copying exhibits from the criminal trial People versus Daystar Peterson, which is case number BA490599, which were in turn used as exhibits in this civil case. And you can refer back to the trial exhibits. Okay. Ms. Pete needed to seek the leave of both the California trial and appellate courts to copy these exhibits. Ms. Pete seeks a total of $761.80 as charged by a vendor to copy these physical exhibits at the courthouse. In sum, Ms. Pete's request for printing fees is conservative, representing a fraction of what was necessarily incurred to litigate this case through trial. All right, so let's get into the witness fees comply with 28 USC. So as you can see here.
All right, let's talk Speediance versus Townhall. Which is better? So if you're thinking about building a home gym, let's break.
We're going to skip over some of this. Some of this is case law. At trial, Ms. Pete presented live testimony from Dr. Lenore Walker, Emil Holland Briggs, and Sean McDermott, amongst others. Okay, so let's get into the dollar amount. Under 28 USC, a witness is entitled to a trial attendance fee of $40 per day, as well as for the time necessarily occupied in going to and returning from the place of attendance. So let's get down to how much was that. It says for Miami-Dade County during the month of November of 2025, the GSA set a daily per diem rate of $145 for lodging. Okay, so let's get into the people. So Dr. Lenore Walker. Dr. Walker is a clinical and forensic psychologist who examined and diagnosed Ms. Pete as having post-traumatic stress disorder, or also known as PTSD. Dr. Walker testified on November the 19th of 2025. Plaintiff requests her lodging cost of $580 per the GSA rate, local transportation cost of $24.60, and attendance fee of $120 for 2 days of travel and 1 day of testimony for a total of $724.60. Emil Holland Briggs. Mr. Holland Briggs, formerly known as content moderator for defendant, Mr. Holland Briggs flew in from out of state to testify on November the 20th of 2025. Plaintiff seeks his lodging cost of $435, economy flight fare of $993.96, and local transportation cost of $308.76, which totals $1,737.72. Let's get into Sean McDermott. Mr. McDermott is a managing director of FTI Consulting and outside forensic expert approved by the parties to image defendant's phone. Mr. McDermott testified on November the 20th, 2025. Plaintiff seeks his lodging cost of $290, local transportation cost of $355.19, and his attendance fee of $120 for 2 days of travel and 1 day of testimony for a total of $765.19. Conclusion. Wherefore, Ms. Pete respectfully requests that the court taxed $68,850.79 as cost in her favor against defendant. And that is the end of this particular court document here. Okay. Now, as y'all already know, look at the bottom of each court document. On some of them, there are hyperlinks. So this is showing the GSA.gov travel plan book per diem rates. So I'm just going to click on this, right? So we're going to get a generalization of what is actually going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take y'all off the screen real quick. And we're going to get into what is this per diem here. All right, so this is Miami. So this is what they meant by GSA. So if you look at Miami-Dade, so y'all see M&IE total, which is $92, breakfast $23, lunch $26, dinner $38, incidental expenses, which is $5, first and last day of travel $69. Okay, and then here go a breakdown right here from 2025 and how they got that $145 price was right here. Y'all can see right there. Okay. All right. So that is that. I think now what we're going to do is let's go ahead and move right on into each exhibit so we can take a look at each exhibit. I know I did not post it on X, but I am going to present it right here, right now. All right. Give me one moment. All right. So let me move this out the way and move that out the way. All right. Here we go. So this is for exhibit, which is the bill of costs. Okay. So y'all take a look here. Fees of the clerk, $750. Fees for service of summons and subpoena, $1,064. And as y'all can see, there are fees for printed or electronically recorded transcripts, which was $43,803. Fees for witnesses, $3,227.51. Fees for exemplification and cost of making copies of any materials where the copies are necessarily obtained for use in the case, $19,601.02. Docket fees, $405. And as y'all can see, they're totaling $68,850.79. And then take a look here for witness fees. You have Dr. Lenore Walker, which is a total of $724.60. Emil Holland Briggs, which was from Los Angeles as he traveled in, $1,737.72. And then Sean McDermott, which was $765.19, totaling $3,227.51. Okay, so that is that document right there. All right, so let's go ahead and get this one out of the way.
This is how unrecognized high IQ looks in teenagers. Constant overthinking. High IQ minds analyze everything. Bored by simple.
All right, let me bring up now Exhibit A. So we're into Exhibit A, as y'all can see. All right. This is when they build, and as y'all can see, and this is pretty much what Exhibit A is. So I guess this is when they attempted to subpoena, as y'all can see, Sunstar. That's his look, pause. If y'all recall, we thought that this was a woman. Remember when we took a look at the actual Zelle payments, and they was like, this ain't Sunstar. Well, apparently that's his middle name, because that's what we saw on the Zelle payments. Okay, rule of thought. Okay. Okay, and we're at the bottom. All right, so that's this one. This is Exhibit A. Okay, Exhibit A. So let's get that off the screen. Let's come back on. All right, so let's take a look at Exhibit B. Let's get Exhibit B on the screen. All right, so let's get Exhibit B on the screen. Okay, so here goes Exhibit B. Matter description: Megan Pete, Megan the Stallion adverse to DJ Academics and Mliagro Gramz. Y'all see that? Ooh, Alex Spiro. What's his name doing right there? Y'all see? Alex Spiro right there. Okay, filing fees. Okay. And right, and that's the end of this document. Okay, so that is Exhibit B. All right, so let's get Exhibit B off of the screen. Let's get to Exhibit C. Now, Exhibit C is docket fees. Okay, so let's get Exhibit C on the screen. All right, y'all see that? All right, and that is Exhibit C. All right, so let's get that off of the screen, and let's get right on into Exhibit D. Now, Exhibit D is deposition, transcript, and video fees. So we're going to break down, because as y'all do know, that costs the most, right? All right, so let's bring this up on the screen. Okay, Exhibit D. And this was from Emil Holland Briggs. This was on March the 31st of 2025. And y'all can see the $5,483.51. This was just for Emil Briggs.
Hey, Linnell, Stiller, good to see you, beautiful. Hope all is well with you.
Daystar Peterson, which was April the 9th of 2025. When that, as y'all do know, that did not last long. That was $2,492.36. Oh, Daystar Shmuel Peterson. Oh, they put his full name in there. This one was on September the 15th of 2025. Okay. $2,583.78. Then Daystar Peterson, Volume 3, which was on November the 14th of 2025. $7,020.55. Wow. Let's get into Sunstar Peterson. His was done April the 4th of 2025. $6,858.82. Oh, Sunstar did 2. Okay, so volume 2, April the 7th of 2025. Okay. $8,401.10. Okay. See, didn't know that. There goes some tea. Y'all, we got some tea. Y'all, we got some tea. Some tea. Y'all, we got some tea. That's some tea right there. We didn't know. We didn't know they had to do Sunstar 2 times.
Wow.
Wow, that's a lot of money. Okay, let's go on to Antonio Tollfree. Okay, this was July the 22nd of 2025. Okay, that was $2,628.34. Let's get into Caesar McDowell, which was on July the 25th of 2025. Ooh, $12,062.57. Caesar McDowell, Volume 2, November the 13th of 2025. $3,582.70. Livingston Allen,
PD
August
Epidemic
22nd of 2025. Ooh-wee, $13,267.36. And then they also had to do a volume 2, which we all know that second deposition from him was roughly 45 minutes to an hour. So how much was that? $1,370.57. Wow. Megan Pete, which was July the 30th of 2025. How much was that? $7,071.08. Mliagro Elizabeth Cooper, which was on July the 21st of 2025. So how much was that? $16,621.29. And then she also had to do a volume 2, which was October the 20th of 2025. That's when Megan legal team came out and said, hey, they had newly discovered evidence that they had got at a later date, and they wanted to then question her on those items. So that is why we see a volume 2. And that was $3,134.59. And that is the end of this one. That is Exhibit D. All right, so let's get that off of the screen. And let's get right on into Exhibit E, which was the hearing transcript fees. Okay, so let's bring that up. All right, so this is Exhibit E. Hold on, my screen buffering. 1 second, y'all.
Yes, StreamYard, it'll do that too.
I don't know if y'all can see this, but my screen is showing that it's buffering. Y'all see that, Exhibit E?
There we go.
All right, Exhibit E. Okay. Just pause your screen. Just read. Pause your screen.
Let me go back for a minute. So this here is a invoice for the trans. This is a. Okay, here we go.
Biddy.
There you go, $91.56.
Okay. Just pause your screen. Just read. Pause your screen. Okay. All right, and that is the end of Exhibit E. Let's get that off the
more
screen.
charges, y'all.
Let's go over to Exhibit F. Now, Exhibit F is printing fees. Now, as y'all do know, that was also another dollar amount that was kind of high as well. So let's get this pulled up. Give me 1 second. All right. Bring this over. Bring that over. All right. Exhibit F, y'all. Y'all look at that. $4,163.46.
Ooh.
10,000. Y'all see that? $19,637.43. That was 308.20. This was 453.60. Ooh, a lot of money, y'all. All right, that was Exhibit F. Now let's get that off of the screen. Okay, let me bring y'all back. Let's take a look at Exhibit G. Now, with Exhibit G, we got Exhibit H and I. We're almost done, y'all. We're almost done. Y'all bear with me. All right, so let's get Exhibit G onto the screen. All right, this is Exhibit G. This is Lawyer's Travel. Pause your screen, take a look.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is
That was a cheap Uber ride. Y'all see that? Okay, $7. All right. Woo. Out of office day rate, not including travel, lodging, dining expenses. This was on November the 17th through
Hey, Dan,
the
welcome
21st.
in. We're just chilling.
$5,000.
Hopefully all is well.
For 4 days. $20,000. Y'all see that?
My Lord.
That is Walker and Associates
What's
LLC. Megan Pete. Y'all see that, right?
Woo.
And this was for Dr. Lenore. Ooh, that's a lot of money. Anyway, that is Exhibit G. Exhibit G. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. We got 2 more left. 2 more left. So this one is Exhibit H, which is Emil Holland Briggs expenses. So let's get into Exhibit H. Let me get this one on the screen. Exhibit H. All right. Okay, just pause your screen, y'all. Just pause your screen and read. But if you seeing what I'm seeing, then y'all see.
This ain't good, child.
All right, and that is Exhibit H. Let's get that off of the screen. We got one more. We are at the end. Also, I would like to attach to the bottom of this too. Mliagro Elizabeth Cooper did file for an appeal. So I would go ahead. Let me just bonus. We're gonna put that at the bottom of this. Okay, so let's get into Exhibit.
Y'all.
Here go Exhibit I, y'all. And this is for forensic expert services. $35,653.50.
Lordy.
Y'all see this?
Lordy.
$48,142.09.
Could not have been me.
And this is for Sean McDermott. Look at that fee, $11,050, $1,438. So I'm curious as to what they cut out and what they left in. I'm curious. I'm very, very, very curious. All right, so now that we are done with that, let's go ahead and let's get into what we came to talk about, which is, if y'all have not noticed by now, Mliagro Elizabeth Cooper did file for an appeal. Let's just go ahead and throw it in there. Take a look here, y'all. Notice and hereby given that defendant Mliagro Cooper hereby appeals to the United States Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit from the December the 2nd of 2025 final judgment. And you can refer back to docket 227. Finding defendant Mliagro Cooper liable on counts 2 and 3 of plaintiff making each second amended complaint. And you can refer back to docket 31 that was filed on February the 10th of 2025. And the lawyer that is still on the case, as y'all can see right there, is Jeremy McLemont. All right, y'all. That is the end of this video. Now, if you like what you see here, of course, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all of you. I cannot do this without you. I love y'all. And y'all make me who I am today. And as I always say, when you lead with integrity, you never have to worry about somebody questioning your loyalty or your intentions. And with that being said, I will see y'all on the next video.
Let the church say amen. Let the church say
You've forgotten to get that special someone in your life. Well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday.
That was the only document teams showing some exhibits there, some of the receipts, many receipts, that is, that Megan Thee Stallion wants Mliagro Cooper to pay. Oh, my Lord Jesus. Just I did go to Mliagro's Twitter account, right? And she has not said a word. Not a word. Not a word. Not a word. Okay, I'm going to check again right now live with y'all, since we're still here. And child, listen, apparently she is also hitting the, like you can see like how much money people are raising. Child, she hit that. I would think you want to tell people how much you made, to say I'm new media, this, that, and the third. But child, she hid how much money she raised. So, yep, last thing she posted was something about Nikki. Let me just look at y'all. Oh, child, she got mob events. Oh, Oh Lord Jesus, y'all, she. This is funny. This is hilarious, y'all. Hang on 1 second. So she's got this. I'm on her site now, y'all. This is hilarious. Like, you do realize, like, you don't have to pay, right? So basically, she's got this thing called Mob Merch. It's this limited edition blue hoodie on sale now. We are all roses that bloomed from the concrete despite all the adversities we faced. Really? Or maybe you put yourself there, but that's neither here nor there. Purchase your limited edition bloom hoodie now and celebrate your perseverance and strength. The back of the see if I can flip it. This is not good. What the hell? Give me a moment, y'all. Give me a moment. Try to read the rest of what she's got. We're just chilling, y'all. Well, that's just the way it is. Okay. What the hell? Child, she can't do a website right. Because she's got like this big black bar. Like, I'm not even joking with y'all. Now, I thought it was just on the I just thought it was on the my mobile. Okay, you know what? We'll do that. We'll copy that. Let me go to this, and I'll read the rest out to y'all. Okay, the back is adorned with the mob mantra that serves as a reminder that you are loved and never alone. Crew neck and crop top are also available. And child, she is selling this for $50. Now, apparently, she's got in LT, LXT, 2XLT, 3XLT, and 4XLT. Those are all sold out, but she's got sizes from small up to 5X, and she is selling this thing for $50 damn. And then she's got a crew neck shirt for $32. And then she's got a women's relaxed crop tee for $30. So she's really trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. She does realize she's going to have to pay this money, right? So going to her YouTube channel, and this is if all of them actually did. If all 78,800 of them, right, times $50. Hypothetically, y'all. Hypothetically, that would be $3,940,000 if all of her YouTube subscribers went and bought a $50 hoodie. Don't know if that's going to happen or not, but so. Well, y'all, that's it for me. This was a bonus tour. It wasn't planned. I just came on to talk to y'all about this, and that's about it. Shout out to Document Tings once again. Here is the link to his channel right there. That's it, y'all. One love, much love, all love. I feel love. Sending it right back to you. Bye.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, An isle of fire-breathing excitement. A shadowy world of monsters and mystery. New wonders in the wizarding world. And a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
Child Brandon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Brandon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Brandon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time. Child Brandon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about. Besides lying all the damn time.
Good morning, TikTok. Can I have your attention, please? Girl, are you ticking? Are you talking? Because knowledge is knocking. Then I want to talk to you real quick about ignoring a bitch. Oh, there's power in turning the other cheek. Now, I'm going to tell you something. One thing about people that like to throw shade, you don't fight shade with shade. The only thing that overrides and destroys the shade is the sunlight. See, your light gotta be so bright that you keep that bitch where they belong. In the shadows, the dark. The bitch is invisible, and we don't see you, girl. See, you don't go back and forth with a person that's hating on you, because when you do that, you become just like them. A weak bitch. So the next time they mention your name in a status, or your name come up in a conversation, don't respond because you're too high to look that low. We can't go back and forth with people that we can't reach and that's not on our level. We not sitting at the same table eating the same meals.